good at this game?
Well, I'm better with nails.
Nails?
Yeah, nails. Sharper nails every bit as deadly as darts, really. Only I give it up, you see.
Why?
Wow, it's the damage I was doing. I mean, by just a powerful throw, my nails used to go right through the board and pin it to the wall. In fact, on one occasion, I pulled my nail out. There was a big hole in the wall, right through to the backyard.
What did you do about that?
Only one thing to do, really, wasn't it? Put a bit of glass in it. Make a feature window out of it.
Fluke. Fluke? You gotta be joking, mate. That was pure and unadulterated skill of the very highest order, was that? Secret of my success being not just my amazing potting ability, but my even more mind-boggling control of the cue ball.
Look, Big Ed, spare us the commercial and make your shot, will you?
Patience, Muggsy, patience. I mean, if you do happen to think 3 or 4 shots in advance like I do, then you can't afford to rush it, can you? Ah, yes. This one over here, I think.
There definitely was a light on in that house, you know.
Look, do you mind not talking like that to make me shot?
Oh, come on, you two. It does just happen to be a waiting list for this table as long as the M1. Now, you're playing or yakking?
I'm playing, he's yakking.
Well, I'm worried, aren't I?
About what?
Guess.
Oh, flipping heck. He's not still on about that, is he?
Look, I know what I saw, Boxer.
Look, we went and had a look round. What more do you want?
Yeah. Well, we didn't look around inside, though, did we?
I mean, I don't believe this. What are we supposed to do? Break a window or something?
Now, that would have been stupid.
Right. In fact, my maze, you didn't think of it.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
Then I had a better idea, didn't I?
Like what?
Well, like, why break a window yourself when you can get someone else to do it? All legal and above board, like.
A warrant? What sort of warrant?
You know, a search warrant. To get us in there and have a look around, like.
Yeah, we thought you being with the fuzz, you could lay one on, like.
Oh, did you? Well, for your information, son, the fuzz around here have better things to do with their time than taking out warrants to break into houses just 'cause you lot think you saw lights on in there.
But I did see a light on in there. And then when we went back again, it had been switched off again. Which you have to admit, Mr. Glossop, must prove something.
What it proves, my son, is that he probably has a cleaner who goes in there once a week while he's away. Or some relative of his from John O'Groats or somewhere comes down and uses the place. It could just even be that he's left the keys with some neighbour who goes in there now and again to give the place the once-over.
Yeah. You know, I reckon Dad's dead right, you know. I mean, look, let's face it. The odds against there being a villain in there nicking all Mac's worldly possessions is pretty astronomical, isn't it? I mean, look, even if there does just happen to have been a spate of burglaries in the area just recently, when Mac gets back, if he finds his house has been done over, we're just going to have to say to him that, well, we didn't think there was any reason to get worried about things just because someone was in there late at night turning the lights on and off. Right, Dad?
Get out of the way.
All right, check the back for any signs of illegal entry.
Right, sir.
Well,
Nothing, sir.
all right, nip back and watch it, just in case.
Evening, all.
Mac!
It's just a private break-in, or can anybody join in?
You're back.
No. Actually, it's just a cardboard cutout that the postman couldn't get through the letterbox. Is anybody going to tell me what the hell you're doing with my back door?
Will you tell him, or will I?
You sure you don't want to stop for one?
Oh, no, thanks, I'll get back.
Okay.
Supposed to be my day off. You coming, are you, Willie?
No, I'll probably hang about for a bit, Dad. Catch up on Mac's newsline.
In that case, I'll see you later.
Yeah, probably much later, actually, Dad.
Oh, no sweat. I'm not going anywhere. In fact, I look forward to it.
Listen, thanks for galloping to the rescue anyway.
Oh, it's all part of the service, Mac?
Better be safe than sorry.
Right.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Here, Mac. You haven't got a spare bed, have you? Where the son of a certain copper I know can refuge for a couple of nights.
Oh, very funny. Here, thanks a lot, Muggsy, for the infirmary pass. How was I to know Mac was back? Oh, I'm not blaming you, Muggsy. I mean, being stupid is just your affliction, isn't it? The one I'm blaming is me for ever listening to you in the first place.
Just drown your sorrows in that, will you?
So, when'd you get back then, Mac?
I don't remember. Wednesday, Thursday, something like that.
So it didn't work out in Australia then?
Whatever made you say that?
Well, what I mean is, it didn't...
You mean that if it had done, what am I doing back here?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I'll tell you how it was. There was I, lying on this beach one day with all that sun and sea.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I suddenly thought of all the things that I was missing back home. Like the rain, and the snow, and all that fog.
Oh, yeah, well, Mac, I mean, I can tell I could miss all them things, eh?
Yeah, but seriously though, Mac, why all the secrecy?
No secrecy, I just didn't advertise the fact that I was back, that's all.
But why?
Because if I had done before I got myself together, I had the press round here, right? Asking a load of stupid questions.
Like what?
Like, is it true it didn't work out in Australia, Mac?
Thanks, Eddie.
So, you lot are settled in here all right now, then, are
Yeah, it's great.
you? What time do you shut up shop usually, then?
Oh, no, not something like that.
Yeah, it used to be later until Rasputin put Cassidy in charge.
Ah, well, enough said. Still, just as well, perhaps, really.
What do you mean?
You won't catch me hanging around this place after dark, not Eddie Carr.
Why?
Bobby Dazzler, of course.
Bobby Dazzler, who's he?
You mean who was he, don't you?
Ah, there you are, Carr.
Yes, here I am, Mr. Cassidy. Large as life and twice as tasty. Why, you've been looking for me, have you?
Yes, all over the ground, actually. I must say the very last place I expected to find you was in here. You know, you're paid to maintain this place, not fritter away your time gossiping with this crowd.
I wasn't actually doing any frittering, Mr. Cassidy. I was rewiring this little lot.
Let them do their own rewiring. You've got much better things to do with your time.
Not a very bright idea, Mr. Cassidy. Leaving youngsters of this age to get involved with electricity, if you don't mind me saying so.
Actually, I think I do mind, Carr. Now, let's make the position crystal clear, shall we? Before you undertake any more little jobs for this lot, you will first of all clear it with me. Is that understood?
Perfectly, Mr. Cassidy. That's what I was going to do, only I couldn't, could I?
Oh? Why not, pray?
Because I couldn't find you, you being late back from lunch. So what I did was ask Mr. Jones about it instead. And he said to get this rewiring replaced without further delay, before there was a fire or something. In fact, he thanked me very much for bringing it to his attention and rather wondered why you hadn't spotted it yourself, like, as person in charge of the club now.
Did he indeed?
Well, it was all right for me to do that, was it, Mr. Cassidy, or Mr. Jones say so?
Perfectly. Although I will thank you in future, Carr, not to bother the chairman with any more of your trivialities. Right. Get this job finished as soon as you can and report to my office. I've got at least half a dozen more jobs there for you. Much more important than this one.
Shall be done, mein Captain. Now then, how's that for you?
Fine, thanks, Eddie.
Any time, love.
Hang about, though, Eddie. What about this Bobby Dazzler character, then?
Oh, him? Aye. Poor old Bobby, very sad. Good player, too, you know. Beautiful left foot. They reckon he could have gone all the way, right into the English team.
Why? What happened to him?
He was killed, love, right here on this ground. I was there that day myself and saw it.
Killed by what?
Lightning. It was a cup tie, big crowd on that day. There was this sudden thunderstorm rolled over. Wow, they should have abandoned it, of course. If they had, there'd have been a riot. The next thing, bang, there's Bobby flat out on the deck. He never came round.
How awful.
It was, love.
And when did this happen?
Must be nearly 40 years ago now.
So what's that got to do with this place after dark?
Well, it's probably just a tale, but you know what folks are like for making up ghost stories.
Ghost stories? About this place?
Oh, aye.
What sort of ghost stories?
Well, I know it sounds daft, but things have been heard around here late at night.
What sort of things?
Well, footsteps for starters, out in that corridor there that no one ever accounting for, really. Because when someone opened the door to look, there'd be nobody there. At least that's what folks say.
Yeah, but why should anyone think this ghost is that of this Bobby Dazzler character?
Oh, yeah, well, because of the footsteps themselves.
What do you mean?
Well, you've heard the noise lads make on that Friday there where they're studs when they're coming off the pitch. Well, it will sound just like that, they say, only in this case, the footsteps are just one person, like. Sort of slow and draggy, too, as if whoever's footsteps there were absolutely shattered after a match. Or injured. Oh, well, as the man said, I can't stand round here gossiping all day. Best go and report to Rom and see what he's got lined up for me, eh? See you later.
Come in. Leave him on the desk.
Having a bit of trouble, are we, boss?
Good Lord, no, Wurzel. Whatever gave you that idea? I often sit here twiddling with these things when I've got nothing better to do. What pleasanter way could there be of passing an hour on when you're up to your ears in work?
Have you tried digging at the bank?
Now, why didn't I think of that? Tell me, in which particular part of the maintenance manual would I find that technique?
Just trying to be helpful, boss.
Thanks, Wurzel. Terrific. You're a real flaming treasure.
Yeah, sorry, boss. Was there something in particular you were wanting to watch?
Trying to get the news, wasn't I? Find out how we went on in the cup draw.
Oh, wow. Now there, I might just be able to help you.
You might.
Yeah, I just heard it on my dad's car radio on the way in.
So?
So?
So who the hell did we draw?
Burton Rovers, a non-league club. Practically a local team, eh, boss?
Home or away?
Home.
Great! I'll get down there, spread the word.
Yeah, well, make a bit of a change, eh? We might even be able to get into the third round this time.
Terrific!
You heard the other bit of good news, did you, boss?
What's that?
Mac's back. Mac Murphy.
When you say back, you mean, back on holiday?
Good question. You tell me.
What do you mean?
Well, we did sort of put that to him, if you know what I mean. But old Mac, he seemed to be playing his cards very close to his chest about it.
Did he? Well.
What, a phantom footballer?
So Eddie Carr reckons, yeah?
Have droopy drawers on, did he? And a pair of two-ton bobber boots.
There was a football player killed here once in a thunderstorm, Bert. I asked my gran about it and she remembers it.
Yeah, but that still doesn't mean that he tramps the corridors of this place with a football tucked underneath his arm, uttering fiendish cries, does it?
It got me right in the middle of my head. It was a foul, ref. Penalty, penalty.
It's not funny, Muggsy. A boy was killed.
Only you won't lie down, will he? Not according to old Ed, eh?
You can laugh, Muggsy. I bet you'd run a mile if you bumped into him.
Yeah.
Give over and ask him for his autograph.
It's easy to talk now, in the daylight.
Yeah, bet you wouldn't talk that big if you were on your own and it was dark.
Nah.
I've been the last out of here many a time.
Yeah, but that was before you knew, wasn't it? Yeah, catch you being last out of here in future.
Tell you what, from now on I'll make a point of it just to show you.
Yeah, bet you'll not hang about, though.
All night if I had to.
You'd stay here all night on your own?
Yeah, any time.
Prove it, then.
How do you mean?
Prove it by doing it. Do it tonight.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid, Rose.
There we go.
Well, I would, but how could I?
Why couldn't you?
Well, because my mum and dad wouldn't let me.
Oh, poor boy.
Any more than any of yours wouldn't let you.
Yeah, unless, of course, we fixed it.
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, you could always tell your parents that you're staying at my place that night, couldn't he? Eh?
Oh, there you go.
Well, I don't know about that.
See, he is scared.
Yeah,
chicken.
Look at him.
All right, then you're on.
Oh, you gonna do it then, are you?
Well, I just said I would, didn't I?
Tonight?
Well, when I've sorted things out.
There we go.
At home, I mean. Tomorrow night.
Are you sure?
On one condition, though.
What condition?
That if I do, I get in to see all Dunmore's home matches free for the rest of the season.
Well, how are you going to manage that?
Because every week you lot's going to cough up between you and pay for me.
Don't know about that.
Go! Go on, right through! Through! Hold it. Push it. Come on, hold it, hold it, hold it! Hold and push, hold and push. Not too long, not too long. That's it. Forward! Forward, that's the goal!
Hello?
Oh, Mac. You're back.
Must have made your day when you heard that, Derek, did it?
Things didn't work out for you in Australia then?
You're the second person that said that to me today.
The chairman's out on the practice pitch with the first team squad.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So, can I help you?
Well, I could use a cup of tea if you're brewing one up.
Now, what I mean is there something you wanted? In here?
Between you and me, Derek, if you hadn't just come in just now, I was just about to nick all the silver that lines the illustrious walls of this room.
It's just that I'm not altogether sure that the chairman would be entirely happy about people waiting for him in his private office.
Well, I'm not just people, am I, Derek?
No, that's true, I suppose. On the other hand, you're not staff either, are you? Not anymore.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll risk it if you will. That is, unless you are thinking of evicting me forcibly. And Derek, no sugar.
Of course, I did point out to him I thought it would be much more appropriate if he waited for you outside, you know, until you got back. But, well, you know how high-handed he always was.
Cheers, Derek.
Well, well, well. Hello, stranger.
How are you?
All right. Surviving? You?
I'm fine.
Just a social visit, is it?
Yeah?
How was Kangaroo Land then?
Well, I'll tell you something. It was a lot warmer than here.
Not too warm for you, I hope.
No.
Sit down.
How are things with you? A bit sticky at the moment, are they?
Nothing I can't handle. Why? Come to have a gloat, have you?
You know, that was always your little weakness.
What little weakness was that then?
You're a rotten judge of character.
Certainly borne out in your case, wasn't it, mate?
What's that supposed to mean?
You walked out on me.
Wait a minute. I asked you if I could leave. You said I could. Remember?
The simple reason I happen to believe there's no point in hanging on to a manager who's got it into his head he'd sooner manage ding-a-dong wanderers on the other side of the flaming world.
And it was me, thinking that you let me go out of gratitude for services that I'd rendered over the past 3 seasons.
Services, Mac, for which you were richly rewarded.
Come on, I was getting paid twice as much before I came here.
Was that before they sacked you or afterwards?
Mr. Carr?
That's me. Who are you then?
They call me Muggsy. Muggsy Moran.
Oh, so, what can I do for you then, Muggsy?
Well, it's about this ghost, Bobby Dazzler.
Oh, him.
Yeah, I'm doing this school project, see, on unexplained phenomena.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I thought I might do a bit about this Bobby Dazzler.
For a laugh, like.
I see.
So, where did you hear about him?
Oh, from various people.
What? People are supposed to have seen him?
No, heard him, actually. Most people have only ever heard him. And perhaps he's just as well after what happened to Harry Barnstable.
Harry Barnstable?
Yeah, they reckon he saw him all right and rather wished he hadn't.
Why? What did he say about him?
Never said anything about him at all, on account of he couldn't.
Why not?
Because from that day on, he never uttered another word. It all happened by the offices under the stands, you know, near that club room of yours. He was an electrician, actually, putting in new wiring and got a bit behind with it, so he stopped late to catch up. Well, the following morning, when they found him collapsed like, he was lying on the floor. And like I said, completely incapable of speech.
Now, you are sure you want to go through with this, aren't you, Mugsy? Of course it is. Aren't you, Mugs?
Of course.
Yeah, of course he is. In fact, try and stop him, right, Muggs? With the season's free football just there for the taking.
Right.
Now then, who's got the time then?
It's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. I think it's time we got moving and
Yeah.
leave him to it.
Right. So, I'll see you later then, Muggsy. Hopefully.
Whatever you do, don't go to sleep.
Funny.
Good night, Mugsy. Sleep tight.
Oh, one final thing, Mugsy. If old Bobby Dazzler does come clumping down the corridor round about midnight, when you're getting his autograph, can you get one for me, please? Get one?
Yeah, that one.
Get lost, will ya?
See you, Muggs. See you, mate.
Everything you see, someone say you know it's a tragedy. Find another place, 'cause you can't play here. Don't worry.